Yeah, obviously super disappointing. You don't want to lose home games. That's a big goal of ours at the beginning of the year. If you want to win the conference, you got to win all your home games, and didn't get that done today. And I think everyone's got a hand in it. Coaches, players. Obviously, whenever we lose a football game, it starts with me, and pretty much ends with me, in my opinion. But so I got to do a lot better job. I made a lot of mistakes in the game today, and I'm sure the coaches feel the same way. I'm sure the players feel the same way. So just a lot of things that we couldn't overcome, and Idaho State played their butts off and played really well, and deserved to win the game, and they deserve all the credit for sure. Well, I think that because of where we're at in the secondary with the injuries, we're not really able to play the personnel that you would play to a 4 wide receiver offense. And so it makes it difficult sometimes to be gap sound and stop the pass. And, I thought early in the game we were probably, not expecting them to run as much as they did. But at the same time, I'm sure players felt like they could have been better up front, and probably felt like they could have made better tackling, efforts. And really after the first 3 drives, I thought our defense really settled in. I mean, we give up a blocked punt and give up a couple of, maybe 1 touchdown in the second half and a field goal. So I think once they settled in, they did a good job. Yeah, well, I think this guy deserves a lot of credit. I know Jacob Syke gets a lot of praise for what he's done, but, Cole being a graduate transfer and choosing to come to Davis and be a part of this program when he had a lot of different options. Got here early in February, had no way to pay for living, and so he's just finding different jobs, working in flag football, finding ways to just be around the team, just to be a part of it, knowing that the best safety in the country might even be in front of him. And all he did was become part of this culture, part of this environment, part of this family. And then we lose Rex, and Cole's played tremendous ever since he stepped in. So the fact, what our defense is going through right now is difficult. Every team deals with injuries. By no means is it an excuse. But, Marquise Bell breaks his wrist last week. Not sure if he's going to play, so he casts it up, and he makes a one-handed interception. And then Jake Williams is out, so, Trent's playing every snap on defense. It was just, again, group effort. We're all coming together. We win together. We lose together. But you got to give a lot of credit to the defensive players for just fighting through stuff and competing. Yeah, no, that's an awful, awful coaching by me, Jake. This is really bad situational football. Being too greedy. We have a timeout. Feel like maybe we can take another shot at the end zone, but putting Caden in that position, and it's just not worth it at that point. So just really bad coaching by me, and really bad decision, and it cost us. Well, I feel like our kickoff unit had been our big bugaboo, and I thought today they were fantastic, which is awesome to see our growth in that unit. Obviously, whenever you give up a block punt, statistically you got an 80% chance of losing the game. So block punt, block field goal, you're not going to win a lot of games having things like those happen. So Idaho State deserves the credit. They brought a nickel pressure on the punt that we hadn't seen on film, and they schemed it up and had to execute it the right way, and you got to tip your cap to them. And we definitely got to be better in all 3 phases if we want to win football games. Yeah, in those spots you got your 2-minute calls, so we got we got like some sideline routes, and then you got kind of a deep over the top, and you got the tailback underneath, so you're kind of high-lowing the linebacker, and those are plays he's going to learn as a young quarterback. Probably wants to complete the ball to Fisher, get 10 to 15 yards, and right where you want to be, and call the timeout. And but those are things you learn as you play at quarterback in those spots. So he'll be a much better player after going through some of those things today, end of half and end of game. Yeah, I think right now, we just want to get better. We want to be a better team tomorrow than we were today. Everything we want to accomplish is still in front of us, But I think we just got to look at ourselves as staff and players. And, if you want better results, you got to have a better process. So our Sunday to Friday has got to be better than it was this week. And then hopefully we can perform better on Saturday. And, there's no easy games in the Big Sky like you found out today. And we knew Idaho State was a good team. There's no surprise that they played well. They've played well against everybody. And we just made too many mistakes as coaches and players to overcome them. And hopefully it's a good lesson for us. And again, if we play well the next 3 weeks and win enough games, you'll still have a chance to keep playing, and that's our ultimate goal.
I wouldn't say it's an extra motivation. Like Coach Plough said, we just got to worry about us, and we just got to execute better. Just play our game. It was just, another game at home. We got to win our home games. So we're going to do that today, but we'll get better next time. They were dropping a lot of the backers on our deep over stuff. But other than that, I think it just goes back to us. We just got to execute better as players, and then, just do our job. Everybody got to do our job, be on the same page.
Yeah, well, for us, like Sam and Coach Plough said, we're always focused on us. We're never really focused. We're focused on our opponent's game plan and scheme, but we're focused on us at the end of the day. So our preparation doesn't change whether we play Washington or Idaho State, any team, Montana State. So we just stuck with our normal process. I felt like we prepared great. We had a great Friday practice. Started off a little slow, but then we executed and got back to where we needed to get to, and then we just have to complement the offense a little bit better at the end of the day. And then as far as their game plan, every offense is going to game plan a defense. So you can play all the tendencies you want, but you're going to have to tip their cap to them on a few plays every now and then, because they're going to know what you're going to be in sometimes and take advantage of that. Yeah, I graduated early last year in December, and I wanted to originally mid-year. That wasn't an option here because of the graduate program. None of the graduate programs start until the fall quarter. But I wanted to come out here and be a part of whatever team I was coming to. So that was a big thing when Coach Plough was recruiting me. I was going to move out here regardless, find a job, be able to pay off rent, work my butt off all week, working probably almost 20, 30 hours a week downtown, and then on top of that I'm working some flag football on Sundays and still doing workouts and stuff and trying to recruit for the job that I'm going to do after school too. So it was just kind of a grind, and the culture here is amazing. The culture that Coach Plough's built here, and the guys just kind of brought me in, and they treated me like I was always here, like I got here 5 years ago, regardless of whether or not I'm a grad transfer. So I really appreciate everyone who's a part of this program for that.